Multiple choice part 2. Question: which of the following about the investor compensation fund is correct? Look at the question. Okay. The investor compensation fund covers financial products traded on the stock, Hong Kong exchanges and clearing limited. This is correct. Okay. Uh, Big B is wrong. Investor compensation fund is managed by the Hong Kong Exchange and Clearing Limited. Wrong. Look at this. Uh, they are managed by this company, Investor Compensation Fund. Is managed by the Investor Compensation Company Limited. Okay, we have the name limited. Okay, here. Part C. There is no compensation limit. The answer is wrong as well. Look at this statement. If you sustain losses in relation to the securities, the amount of compensation payable to you will not exceed $150,000. If you sustain losses in relation to futures contracts, the upper limit is also 150,000 Hong Kong dollars. The limit is per person. For joint account, each of the account holders will be subjected to the maximum payment limit to $150,000. All right. Okay. For D, the source of money comes from the government. Wrong. Okay. It is managed by this company. Okay, by this company. So look at this. The source of money comes mainly from the investor compensation levy on the exchange traded product transactions. The current levy on securities transactions is 0.002% payable by buyers and sellers. That means you make transactions in the stock market, you have to pay this amount, 0.002%, to this company in order to save up sufficient amount of compensation to be paid to those losers. This question is about management, about the tall organization structure and flat organization structure. Okay, look at this. This is the tall organization structure, while this is the flat organization structure. That means there is a lot of layers in the tall organization structure, while the flat organization structure will have only a few layers. You should know that the more the number of layers we have in this organization structure, the more difficult the communication is. So it takes time and more administrative costs for the top layers to the bottom layers. So number one, the span of control of top organization structures is narrow. Look at this. If we have a supervisor here, each supervisor supervises a smaller number of subordinates, while for a supervisor in a flat organization structure, each supervisor is responsible for more number of subordinates. Okay, so the span of control is narrow. This is correct. Okay. While B, look at this. A flat organization structure only fund is small and medium enterprises. Okay, this is wrong. We do not only limit to small and medium enterprises. C, the communication of a flat organization structure is less efficient. Wrong. Okay, because the number of layers for a flat organization structure is smaller. Okay, so the less layers, the more able the supervisors is able to communicate with their subordinates. D, the administrative cost for tall organization structure is relatively low. Wrong. Okay, it takes time for the top management to reach the bottom layer, so it is wrong. Okay, the answer is A. Next one. Which of the following strategies does the company use when it launches a coupon plan on Facebook for the new stores? These questions involve two cases. One is the coupon plan, and the second is the Facebook. This is about 4P. Okay, 4P. First one, product. This one, place, promotion, and price. For a coupon plan, it's about promotion, right? Just like a discount strategy to promote sales. For Facebook, it's about the place. It's about the place, okay? Not only on the physical location, we may also make use of the internet promotion technology, techniques. So the answer here is 2, and 3. C. Oh. Uh, Here, you are given the gross profit margin, and you are required to calculate the cost of goods sold. As far as we know, the cost of goods sold can be calculated by this means. Opening stock plus purchases plus carriage invoice minus returns hours and minus closing stock or closing inventory. So let us look at the figures. Opening stock here, 3,500 here. Purchases here, 147,500 here. Carriage invoice, we have carriage invoice here, 400. We missed this. Okay, 400 here. Returns hours, we don't have returns hours. That means 0. But we don't know this figure, the closing stock. So in order to calculate this, we have to know this. So we cannot make use of this formula to calculate cost of goods sold. So we turn to another way by means of the gross profit margin. Okay, because cost of goods sold can also be calculated by means of the difference between net sales and gross profit. Net sales minus gross profit. So we have a net sales. Net sales means sales minus returns invoice. We don't have returns invoice. So net sales is equal to $140,000, while gross profit is equal to net sales times gross profit margin. As well, we have the sales $140,000 and gross profit margin here 25%. So let's make use of the simple calculation. That $140,000 times is equal to $140,000 times 1. That means we extract this common factor out, and we left this 1 and 25%. 1 minus 25% is equal to 75%. Okay, with the common factor $140,000. So the cost of goods sold is equal to 105,000 here. For the second question, you are required to calculate the closing inventory. So coming back to the last equation, cost of goods sold is equal to this. Now we have already calculated this figure, so we can make use of the formula, right? The last question, we have already calculated 105,000. So substituting into the equation, we can calculate the cost of closing inventory. That means we change this figure to the left and this figure to the right, from positive to negative. So the figure for closing stock is 46,400 here, 400. Okay. No, wrong here. It's 8. Okay. Oh, next question about government department and public corporation, public enterprise. You should be aware of firms are divided into private enterprise and public enterprise. For public enterprise, which are solely owned by the government, are divided into 2 parts. We have 2 categories. One is government department, and the second is public corporation. For government departments, all these departments are run by the government, which are totally financed by the government. All the losses are borne by the taxpayers. While for public corporations, they are run on a commercial basis with the operation of board of directors, such as hospital authority, airport authority, ocean park. All of these things, or these firms are run by board of directors, and they are also self-financed. Once the government has given a startup fund to the corporations, public corporations, they have to self-finance all the profit and responsible for all the profit and losses. Okay, let us look at this. Number 1, both have unlimited funding from the government. Wrong. Only government departments have unlimited funding from the government, not public corporations. Okay. 2, both are set up with the purpose of offering service to the public. This is correct. That's the aims of public enterprises. Number three, both are operated on commercial basis. This is wrong because only public corporations are run on commercial basis. Government departments such as fire services department, transport department are not run on commercial basis. Wrong here, correct here. Okay, number four, both are wholly owned by the government. This is correct. So the answer is 2 and 4. Next one. Battle company buying insurance against loss from earthquake relates to the method of insurance is what is an example of a risk transfer. Risk transfer. That means the risk is transferred to the insurance company by means of paying premiums, insurance premiums to the insurance company. That means the insurance companies will take the risk of losses by from battle company. And let us do revision on risk assumption. Okay, risk assumption that means the company we assume the risk. Assume the risk that means we take the risk, all the risk, such as for a restaurant, it used to take the risk of losing the knives and forks during operation because the loss of the knives and forks are so low that it is not worthwhile to buy insurance because the premium is higher than the losses. And next one, reduction. That means the firms may try to reduce the risk, such as an hotel will install fire alarm and does not allow customers to smoke in the rooms, in the hotel rooms. That's the means of reducing the risk. And the next one, avoidance, under which the cost of loss will be so high that no insurance company is going to take the risk, or the company, such as the battle company here, is no longer willing to take the risk. So it will try to make use of risk avoidance strategy. Okay, next one. The benefit of the preparation of trial balance is to, one, locate errors of all kinds. This is wrong for all kinds because some errors cannot be located, such as the errors of omission. Okay, next one, facilitate the preparation of financial statements. This is correct because this is a step before the preparation of financial statements. Okay, before the preparation of financial statements, we have to prepare the trial balance together with the year-end adjustment. C, right, why wrong? Because provide data which are used directly to the financial statement. This is wrong because this data is not updated. Not having adjustment, such as depreciation, such as closing inventory, such as accrual or prepayment, something like that. D, wrong again. Locate arithmetic errors in specific accounts. Specific is wrong because such as a sales account, we cannot know what exactly the amount of sales would be, the balance of sales account would be. So we cannot make use of the trial balance to check the overall balance in a sales account or specific accounts. Next one, the duties of human resources department. Number one, organize training workshops. This is correct because the human resources manager try to train up the skills of employees. Number two, improve staff morale. The keyword is staff here. Okay, morale is so important to a company. So HR managers need to improve their morale. Number three, assist in deciding staff promotion and dismissal. Again, staff promotion is correct. So the answer is D. This question, you are required to calculate the net profit. Net profit, we have quite a number of ways to find it by making use of the income statement, or right here, you are given the formula rate of capital employed, 30%. So we may try to make use of the formula like this to see if it can arrive this figure. First of all, we'll see if because we know that we have a opening capital and closing capital. So we may make use of this formula. Closing capital is equal to opening capital plus net profit minus drawings. So you are given the figure here, figure here, and figure here. Okay. If we know this figure, that's okay. We know this figure is okay. But yes, we see drawings of inventory here. But we should be aware of this word inventory. We don't know if we can use this figure because once this is specified as inventory, there may be drawings of cash, drawing of cash or drawing of cash from the banks. It's not shown because the question is just an extracted uh, information from this company. So we should try our best to see if we can calculate or not. So let us look at this. If we first of all we see if it can help us to calculate net profit. So let us change into like this. Net profit here, we keep it here, and we put all those figures to the left. That means the closing capital minus opening capital plus drawings. Let us look at this. Closing capital here, opening capital here. How about drawing? Can we use this figure? See if we can use this figure. Or we cannot use this figure because we cannot calculate net profit. So we have to use another formula making use of this return on capital employed. This formula like this. Return on capital employed is equal to net profit divided by opening capital plus closing capital divided by 2. So we have this figure. We have opening capital and closing capital. So put it like this. We change the subject. Opening this factor to the left and put all those figures into the equation. Return on capital employed equal to 30%, opening, closing divided by 2. So we can calculate this figure. So we cannot calculate by means of this, because we do not exactly if there is drawings of cash, except that this is not extracted. This is full information. All right, so we have to make use of this formula to calculate net profit. So this question just followed the question before, is to ask you to calculate cash drawings. So this one, drawing of inventory. So we have another drawing. It's called cash drawings. So for the questions before, we have calculated the net profit. So we can make use of this formula again to calculate the drawings because there are two parts of drawing. One is cash drawing, another part is drawing of inventory. So all those figures are given. This one, and this one are before. So put it here. This is the answer before. No, the net profit. This is net profit. Okay, it's equal to. We change subject. So comes up with this closing capital minus opening capital plus D, and put all those figures here correctly. We can calculate the total amount of drawings, 1392. So we minus 1392 by 670. We can calculate the answer. Okay, this question is about preference shares and ordinary share. Remember, preference shares have two types of preference in terms of the preference to claim dividend, and the second is the preference to claim their capitals upon liquidation. But we have not mentioned about the dividend rate. We do not know if the preference share dividend rate, if it is higher or lower than the ordinary shares. So this is wrong. Okay, number two, B, preference shareholders do not have voting rights. This is correct. Ordinary shareholders do have voting rights. This is correct. B is correct. Why C wrong? Okay. Preference shareholders bear a greater responsibility in managing the company. Wrong. Because preference shareholders do not have voting rights. How can we say that they bear greater responsibility in managing the company? Wrong. D, why wrong? Okay, no rights to access financial information. Wrong. We have told that um, preference shareholders do not have voting rights, but we do not say that preference shareholders do not have the right to access financial information of the company because they are owners as well. They are owners as well. They have the right to get some information from the company. Next part, need to participate MPF. First of all, you should know about the range, 18 years of age to 55 years of age. So this one, no need to contribute. Okay, this one, no need. And next one about the uh, domestic helper and the self-employed hawker, right? So this one, age, okay. Domestic helper, okay. So this is a key point. Domestic helper need not pay MPF, so this is correct. Next one, human resources manager instructed the marketing manager to organize a recruitment talk in a university. What effective management principle most likely to violate it? We have five effective management principle. Unity of command, unity of direction, division of labor, management objectives, and about authority and responsibility, right? Balance of responsibility and authority. We do not have this choice here. Okay, let us look at this. What kind of effective management principle is violated? So look at this one. Management officer organized recruitment talk. Uh, is it correct to instruct this officer to do that kind of job? Of course not, because the human resources manager has the job of a responsibility to organize the recruitment talk instead of the marketing officer, right? So this violates what we call what division of labor, because we should ask the human resources manager to organize this talk instead of the marketing officer, right? This is not the job of marketing officer. Next one, which of the classifications are most commonly used in departmentalization? This is the part of topic in management function about organizing. When we organize the firm, we have to make use of the departmentalization. That means we divide the firm into different departments. We can make use of the function, just like if the firm is large enough, we can separate different departments into the function, different business functions, high form, or by product, just like the department to produce TV set, or another department to produce a mobile phone and something like that. We do not have this kind by scale. Scale means the size. We will not departmentalize the firm into different departments in terms of the size, in terms of the number of employees there. So this is wrong. Okay, the answer is 2 and 3. Which of the following statements is correct? The listing requirements of the main board about financial studies, about the stock market. We have the main board and GEM, growth enterprise market. The listing requirements for the main board, just look at the names. So main board, that means it's more important. Main, okay, more important. Growth, a little bit young. So those are, this market is suitable for those small firms with only and fascinating ideas, which need to raise capital from the market. The listing requirements for the main board are the same. Of course, it's wrong. Okay, of course not. The returns of investing the stock are usually lower than investing in bonds. Now we do not know exactly if the return of it stock investment and bonds investment are the same, or which one is lower or which one is higher, because there is a price fluctuation when investing in the stock, while the bond price will fluctuate a little bit, but we do not exactly know if the return is higher or no. C, the risk of investing in stocks or investing stocks in the main board is lower than investing in a growth enterprise market. Of course, we uh, know that is actually lower because all those firms in the main board are of a longer history and with more sound fundamental background, etc. Of course, the listing requirements are more strict than the listing requirements in the growth enterprise market. The firms are more healthier, okay, in terms of their business volume or in terms of their profits making during a year. So this is correct. Why D incorrect? The brokerage commission in the over-the-counter market is higher. This is wrong because um, when we buy shares over the counter, that means not in the platform of the stock exchange. That means you need not take any administrative procedures by the stock exchange market. So you just a connection between the buyer and the seller over the market, over the counter market. So the brokerage commission is usually lower, usually lower, okay, when trading over the counter market. Next one, about future value, okay. Future value is equal to the present value. Make use of the formula times 1 plus R% to the power n. So we have three factors affecting the future value. One is the present value, another one is the rate, next one is the period or the years. So we are talking about reducing the amount of future value. So let us look at this. Larger number of investment periods, that means n. So if n increase, of course, future value will increase. So larger number is wrong, okay? Lower nominal rate of return. Nominal rate return here. This is the nominal rate of return. So lower return, that means lower future value. This is correct. Why C incorrect? Higher nominal, of course, the opposite. Okay. Higher principal. Okay. Higher principal, that means higher future value. Of course, D incorrect. Next one, entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are willing to accept innovative ideas. Okay, common sense. Next one, not related to the amount of investment. So we have not talking about the amount of the worth of the business or how much entrepreneurs invest in their businesses. Wrong. They are willing to accept high risk, of course. Okay. This is the definition of entrepreneurs 1 and 3. Okay, next one. Which of the following is not the role? Remember, not the role of business sector in Hong Kong. Income generation. Of course, it is correct because all business sector, that means the banking industry, the transport industry, the retailing industry, wholesaling business, so and so, will generate income for the employees. Earning foreign exchange, of course, is correct because there are no resources in natural resources in Hong Kong. All those goods are imported from the other countries. So we have to earn foreign currency in order to pay for the import. Next one, cultural exchange between the East and the West. Okay. Cultural exchange is not the role of business sector. It's what the topic globalization. Globalization. Okay. The advantage of globalization. Not about the business sector. Business sector has not such a role to exchange culture between the East and the West. So it is not the role of business. While D is correct, source of income for the government. Okay, without the business sector, without tax to the government. This one, not play an important role in Hong Kong financial system. Financial system, that means money system. Not, of course, the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Hong Kong Monetary Authority manages our foreign exchange reserve. MPF about money. SFC about the financial market in Hong Kong. Next one, the sequence of accounting cycle. The first step is to identify business transaction. Identify business transaction, not here. Okay. The second, The second is record in the books of original entry. And number three is to post to the ledgers. Number four is to prepare trial balance. And number five is to make year-end or period-end adjustment. And at last, to prepare the financial statements such as an income statement and SFP. So the step is, let's look at this. 1, 4, that means the answer is B. Okay, this question about the company with the lowest financial secrecy. Financial secrecy, that means no need to disclose financial information to the public. No need to disclose the financial information to the public. Lowest, that means no need. Which one? No need. Of course, D, right? Sole proprietorship, no need. I mean lowest. Okay, lowest, that means no has to disclose, right? The answer is wrong. Has to disclose the financial information to the public. To the public, that means C, right? Public limited company. This one, not the advantage of a partnership. Okay, not. First of all, division of labor is an advantage, right? The more the number, the partners in the partnership, the easier to practice division of labor. Okay. This one, continuity. No continuity for partnership. That means the partnership is not a legal entity. It does not have continuity. Lower tax rate than sole trader, wrong. Both of which pay 15%. Both. Okay, so the answer is wrong. So the answer wrong. Let me see. Next question. Mr. Wang, the owner of the business, has to repay the amount of previous, this is the keyword, previous drawing. So this drawings does not belong to the current year, not current year. Okay, so the correct entry is repay. That means the cash decrease. So the answer is either A, that means, let's see, Mr. Wang has repaid. Yes, the drawings in the previous year. That means Mr. Wang repaid. That means the business cash has been increased. So the answer is either C or D because the owner, Mr. Wang, has repaid. That means cash was introduced into the business by Mr. Wang. For what? For the last year's drawings. Now look at this. Last year's drawing. Look at this. Drawing is not a real account. Will not carry forward to the next year. So we used to close it last year, in the previous years. So we don't have drawings accounts now. So we do not have drawing accounts now. So in this case, it is actually the capital increase by Mr. Wang. So the answer is C. So very difficult, this question. Learn it. Next, accounting principles. Valid if the expenses prepaid in the current year have been recorded in the financial years of the current year. Prepaid, current year. This is about accrual concept. Okay? That means the expense prepaid in the current year should be deducted from the total expenses incurred in the current year, which the prepaid expense will be regarded as the current assets at the end of the financial statement, SFP, all right, current assets, which will be used in the next accounting year. Which of the following accounts are creditor most likely to know the amount? For creditor, he is more concerned about money, about the ability of the firm to pay the principal and the interest regularly. So the bank account is the most concerned by the creditor. Next, should not appear in the statement of financial position. In the financial position, we know about the asset, capital, and liability. Look at A. Rental deposit received from a tenant. This is received from a tenant, which is a current liabilities because the tenant has given us money. Okay, in terms as a kind of deposit. So this kind of deposit is another kind of current liabilities owed to the tenants, but it is included in the SFP. Goods taken by an owner for private use is a kind of drawing. A drawing is included in the capital account. C. Furniture bought by the owner, first of all, owner, okay, by his personal check. This furniture is not used by the business, not used by the business. It is used by the owner, while the check is the owner's check. So it, according to the business entity concept, it does nothing uh, with the firm. So this will not included in the SFP. So the answer is C, not appear. While bank overdraft is a kind of current liability. Okay. Next one, a motor vehicle is purchased on credit for this amount from ABC company with $1,000 trade discount. So together with these two figures, the net figure is we have to minus $1,000 after the provision of trade discount. So because it was purchased on credit, so it appears an accounts payable account. That's correct. All four answers include this account. Okay, and this is the motor vehicles. And the question does not mention about how motor vehicles is purchased for. If it is purchased for resale purpose, it is regarded as purchases. But this question does not mention about this. So we will not regard the motor vehicle as the as purchases for sale to the customers. So purchases wrong. So we have either C or D. We have motor vehicles account, of course. Okay, but we do not have trade discount receipt account because discount receipt account is a kind of cash discount instead of trade discount. Okay, trade discount is not equal to cash discount. Okay, so we will not open a discount receipt account. And the entry will be to $10,000 instead of this amount. We have to minus $1,000 trade discount. Question. On the 10th of April, local company bought 150 units from local company for 20 before becoming 10%. We that the trade discount is used to encourage purchase, having a large amount of purchase from the suppliers. If local company can settle it will be offered if notice companies settle the amount on the 21st of April, correct. Number one, to analyze this question, we do like this. So we have Lotus here. So Lotus here, fourth goods from Woody. From Woody. While Woody. Second point is about as well. The other part is Lotus bought the wood on the 10th of April. That will be a month. Altogether, there are 11 days. But it is out of the 10 days of grace period within which Lotus company can enjoy the cash. So right here, Lotus company cannot enjoy the discount. So actually, Lotus had to pay $18 here. We have $2 credit card. That means actually, those are $18 each, 150 altogether, 2,700. So let us look at it. A trade is kind of $300 per figure. Those are company paid 2,700 to you. So yeah, there is no cash discount. So wrong here. So they're not reflecting it. The answer is which of the following is not an example of consumer credit? The consumer credit here is called consumer finance, refers to the activities involved in granting consumers to enable them to possess goods meant for everyday use. It's a procedure through which consumers purchase durable and durable goods other than real estate. Real estate is a part, flat. It's not there out of the consideration of real estate to obtain a series of payments extending over a period of 3 months to 5 years. Not an example what you said. Deposit protection scheme is a kind of scheme to protect deposit. The bank or financial institution. So this is not but for personal loan, you can grab personal loan to buy a car, something like that, or buy a TV set, mobile, like that. NOT is revolving consumer credit. Credit card is a kind of revolving consumer credit. Okay, next question about the difference between main board and BES, growth enterprise market. The expected returns from the main board are always higher than the BES. The answer is wrong. Though we know that the listing requirements for the companies in the main board is more strict than those companies listed in the growth enterprise market. It does not mean the expected returns are higher because if the companies are listing in the growth enterprise market and become successful later on, that means the share price of the companies in GM will rise a lot, will rise several times than the original share price. So sometimes the shares in the growth enterprise market will rise, the price, okay, will rise very high, and the return is very great. But the risk of loss will be great as well. So this number one is wrong. Remember it. Investing in growth enterprise market is riskier. Of course not. Okay. Yes. Because it starts with GEM. Okay. I told you that this company, the companies in the GEM has a potential to be successful, but it has a high potential to lose as well. So the answer for two is correct. The requirements to list on the GM are lower. That's correct. Okay, because all those companies being listed in GM may only have an idea, but without much capital. The risk to most of the firms would like to be listed here, but the requirement to be listed here is very strict. So some firms have to raise capital through the growth enterprise market. So the answer is 2 and 3. Next, about Hang Seng Index. There are 50 constituent companies. Yes, correct. Constituent shares. Okay, and constituent companies are grouped into 4 sub-indices. Let us look at this. We say FPPI. That means the shares to be grouped in the 4 sub-indices belong to finance companies, property companies, public utility companies, industry and commerce in companies. For public utilities, it's quite safe. Uh, Uh, that's something about the